How are you? And here we are to start with chapter 3. And the objective for this chapter is that at the end you will write on a forecaster's blog about your predictions 15 years from now. That is what you will have to do with all this, with all the future forms that we're going to study now. So, remember again, the structure is on pages 52 and 53 if you need to review the negative or the interrogative, etc. Let's start with something simple. Let's start with simple present. Because there is only one use for simple present used as future. Yes, simple present can mean that this will happen in the future, at 3 in the future. Okay, for example, the train leaves, that's simple present, at 3. When, in what case we can use a simple present as future? Just one thing. Schedule future beyond control of the speaker. I mean, it is not, there's nothing you can do about what's happening in the future. And also, it's usually like that. For example, the train leaves at 3 in the future. Why? Because it usually leaves at 3. It's already scheduled. Okay? Or beyond your control. Tomorrow I work all day. Tomorrow is future. And yet you're using a simple present. Okay? Because it's beyond your control. I have to work. I'm following orders. Okay? And we continue with something easy. For example, present continuous. Again, yes, a present used with the meaning of future. Just, again, one use. Only in one case we use present continuous as future, as to talk about your calendar or your agenda. Your mental agenda. For example, I am meeting a friend at 9 o'clock. So remember, in present continuous, we usually mention, or it is in our mind, the moment, exact moment when this is going to happen. I'm meeting a friend at 9. If you don't mention the moment, then suddenly it is only a plan. Then it should be with going to. I'm going to meet a friend, period. But if you mention when, present continuous, I am meeting a friend. Okay? We already talked about this in class, that they are not usually affected by stative verbs. For example, see, probably you think, okay, that it's a stative verb. It doesn't matter. I am seeing the doctor tomorrow. No problem with that. Let's continue with going to. And again, it's not very difficult. You can see that we have only 2 cases in which we use going to as a future. Most of the time, when you say something with going to, I'm going to study, what you are really expressing is your intention, your plan for the future. For example, I'm going to work harder. That is my intention. I'm determined to work harder. Okay? Also, as you can see here, we are not mentioning when, as we did in present continuous. Okay, I'm going to work harder, period. It's not that I am working harder tomorrow at 3. Okay, and on the other hand, we have a prediction, but be careful. This is a kind of prediction that when you see signs in the present that makes you think that something will happen in the future, makes you predict the future. So look at those clouds. You see the clouds now, in the present. Then it makes you think that it's going to rain. It's your prediction according to what you see now. Or stop that, you're going to fall. I see now that you're doing something dangerous, so I predict that you're going to fall. One exception, of course, go, the verb go, you cannot use it with going to. It would be redundant to say I am going to go on vacation. No, you just simply say I'm going on vacation. You use present continuous. It's just because it is redundant. I'm going to go. It sounds funny. Just I'm going on vacation. And let's start with future continuous. This is where you're not so familiar with this structure, but it is not very difficult. We use future continuous. I will be working. Obviously, it is continuous, so we apply the same rules as present continuous, past continuous. So the same idea as present continuous or past continuous. It is something going on around a point in the future. Okay, around 8 o'clock, I will be working. It's like a picture that you take of the future, and you describe that picture in the future. Also, it is used for expected plans. Okay, for example, I will be studying all week. It is also similar to around a point, but you're adding that what you mean it's an expected plan. I can't go there because my plan around that point is to be studying. Okay, they are connected. Okay, but what you're really expressing is this. So that is also why in questions, that is precisely what you are asking, an expected plan. For example, will you be working hard? I am asking you if it is in your plan to work hard in the future and also around that moment. Okay, so if you use instead of continuous, you use simple, will you work hard? It doesn't really sound like I'm asking. I'm not asking about your plans. I'm just asking, like I'm giving you an order, or I am annoyed. Will you work hard? Or not? Or what's going on? All right. Or even it could be also a request. Will you work hard, please? So if you use, instead of that, you use continuous, that question means that it's an expected plan. And the future simple, well, you may think, wow, it's very difficult, but if you understand the previous ones, well, the rest is future simple. So, but let's see it in detail. For example, predictions. But maybe you say, but teacher, you said that predictions was in future with going to. Oh, but yeah, look that this kind of prediction is different. It's when you think, when you calculate, or when you hope something for the future. For example, tomorrow it will rain a lot. In what context would you say tomorrow it will rain a lot and not it's going to rain? Well, obviously in a weather forecast. On the news, for example. Why on the news? Because the weather forecaster calculates the possibility of rain. So he says it will rain a lot. And the rest is just pay attention. When you see think, the verb think or hope, what follows, it's with will. I think I'll be there, or I hope you will come. And again, you see the request, we were talking about this before. Will you work hard, please? It is a request. Remember, in future continuous, will you be working hard? You were asking about a plan. Will you work hard, please? It's a request. And be careful, because it's not very polite. This kind of request is not really very polite. You have to, if you really want to sound polite, you have to add please, and be careful with the intonation, because if you don't say please, will you work hard? It is like a command. It's like, oh, come on, please, will you work hard? Or work hard, will you? Okay, so you have to be very careful with this kind of request. You may sound rude if you don't say please. So in offers, okay, in offers we kind of change will for the old form of will, shall. Remember, shall, it's the same as will, but the old will for I and we. But that is to offer your service. Shall I open the door for you? I am offering my service. Okay. Well, to give details after going to. Sometimes first you express your intention, but then when you go on, you don't repeat and repeat going to. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to get up earlier. I'm going. It doesn't really sound very nice. It's better to say I'm going to work harder. Okay, that's my intention. But then the details about working harder, you can use future with will. I'll get up earlier. I'll meet deadlines, etc. Okay. We also saw this one in class as a promise. I promise you'll have your report in time. Okay, that's my promise. That's it. Not a big deal. And in sudden decisions, be careful, because this is completely different from a plan. A plan, you don't decide in the moment of speaking what you're going to do. You already thought about it. But, for example, if something falls on the floor and you want to help and you say, I'll pick it up. Don't worry, I'll pick it up. Was that a plan for you? No, I didn't even know that you were going to drop something. So I see you dropping something, and then I decide to pick it up for you. I decided in that moment. That is why we use this tense to order in a restaurant. For example, I'll have the salad. Oh, come on. It's you're looking at the menu, and it wasn't your plan before sitting at a table. You look at the menu, then you decide you'll have the salad in that moment, and you say, I'll order a salad. I'll have a salad. Okay? And, well, you see, it seems that there are many things, many details, but they are simple. And if you, again, understand the previous, this shouldn't be so difficult. Okay, and now you